Michelle. I'm
Hi,
Justin. And
Hi, Justin.
so, what is your job here at Algonquin?
Okay, so I am an international student advisor. My job is kind of complex, but I am mainly here to retain international students, provide personal and academic support
Mm-hmm.
for international students who are on study permits, who have chosen Algonquin College as their school of choice to come and study at.
So, when students typically come in, what are some problems that they may have? Like, if they were to come to you, what are some general
So a
problems?
lot of international students who may arrive and struggle a little bit with culture shock. They may have a difficult time adjusting to the weather. They may also have a difficult time adjusting to a typical classroom environment. Where they come from, the teacher may not be as helpful as they are here, and expecting students to ask questions and that type of.
Okay, so if a student was, for example, having trouble with finding a job here,
Yes.
what are some of the typical reasons for that, do you think?
Well, international students, when they arrive, are right now regulated to only be able to work on campus if they have a valid study permit and are full-time. So they are not permitted by Citizenship and Immigration Canada to work off campus. They have to meet the requirements for that, and that generally includes being full-time for 6 months in an academic program and having a grade point average of 2.0 or higher.
Okay.
So when international students arrive and they're all looking for jobs, their only choice really is to work on campus. And so it becomes very competitive, and jobs are a little bit difficult to find because they don't have any other choices.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a form that we give them and suggest that they meet with the Student Employment Office for guidance with the resumes. So for example, an international student may already have a resume, but it may not be Canadianized.
Mm-hmm.
So they may have their religion, they may have their
Yeah,
sex, they may have a
information.
picture, they may have all sorts of details
Mm-hmm.
on their resume that would not help them at all if they were seeking work on campus. So we try and, guide them a little
Or
bit
anywhere in
this way.
Canada.
Exactly. So to Canadianize a resume for sure is something that we would like to help them with. And to just offer a few suggestions, like, if you hand off a resume or you go to a department on campus or anywhere in Canada really, and you're expecting to hear back from them within an hour, try not to bug them too much, give
Yeah.
them time or ask what their process.
Is that like a comment that sometimes people may?
Yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes just out of desperation, maybe it could be cultural.
Mm-hmm.
Some students may drop off a resume and then approach
I know the
that
feeling.
department several times a day, maybe every other day, and it
Mhm.
may be a little bit too much. So we also advise students to inquire with the department where they're looking for work. Is there a process? When would I hear back? Would I hear back?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the expectations?
How are you?
I'm good. Sorry, what's your name again?
Sue Hodgins.
Sue Hodgins. And what is your job at Algonquin?
Well, my title is actually International Marketing, Recruitment, and Student Services, so it's sort of a wide gamut of responsibilities that I have. I do some marketing. I used to do overseas marketing and recruitment in Latin America and a few countries like that in Eastern Europe, but now I mainly do recruitment within Canada. I also do admissions for the English second language foreign students that come here. I process bank transfers, just a wide variety of services for the international students, but mainly for the bulk of students in the English for academic purposes.
And you were saying earlier that your husband is actually an immigrant. Did he go through?
Yeah, he immigrated here probably 7 or 8 years ago. He was a veterinary technician from back home, and he wanted to continue in the same field when he got to Canada. But then once he arrived here, he had to do some English, and then once he investigated with the veterinary society, it meant that they didn't recognize any of his studies back home, and it would have meant he would have had to have repeated another 4 years of university, which he just wasn't willing to invest that amount of time.
Yeah.